I was working on a video that I'm doing on the Hindu Vedantic mystic Sri Ramakrishna and his relationship with Kali, the Divine Mother. He lived in the 19th century. I think a lot of people are failing to grasp the significance of that relationship and what it teaches us. But before I did that, I thought, you know what? Why don't we look at the Dakshineswar, the Kali temple in West Bengal, where Sri Ramakrishna spent many hours in samadhi and meditating. And I'm a geomancer, I'm an earth healer, I work with earth energies, and I look at a lot of sacred sites and formations the ancients would work with, like megaliths and things like that. And so what I did some distance dowsing. I looked at maps. You say, whoa, that's crazy. Well, you know what? I work with my L-rods, I looked at pictures. I've got several videos out about dowsing, and particularly about distance dowsing. So I provide exercises you can teach yourself and how to get over that and be able to do that over time. I wrote a book, Sacred Sites in North Star Country, about fields of consciousness where ley lines emanate from. And that began by just looking at maps and saying, okay, where they are. And then I did a follow-up visit. I live in Syracuse. I went to places in southern New Hampshire, Vermont, Ohio, all over the Northeast, southern Ontario, Canada, Toronto, near the Montreal area. And my map dowsing showed these things. Now I had to fine-tune it. But basically that's what's going on here. You can teach yourself that. So I'm looking at this, and what does this teach us about the relationship that Sri Ramakrishna had with Kali and what can be found there? Because there are things to be found there, and they are of significance, and they teach us some things. So there's two things I'm going to be looking at, and that first is aspects of Mother Earth there. Are there any particular formations, like Mother Earth's unseen body? Are there ley lines? Are there energy lines? Are there fields of consciousness? Are there dragon lines? I'm looking at formations that either can nourish our soul and raise our consciousness, or provide energy, heal us, or send us on a mystical experience. And then the second thing I'm looking at is our co-creations with Mother Earth. We have a dynamic relationship with Mother Earth where we are constantly interacting with her. When we love, give, heal, we begin to uplift the space. Conversely, if we are being violent, hateful, we begin to diminish the space. But when we begin to uplift the space, earth magic begins happening. I wrote a book on energy vortices. I've got videos. That's one of the first things we can co-create with our mother. And they are earth magic. They're magical. So that's what I'm looking at when I do this video. You're looking at a Google Maps overview of Dakshineswar in West Bengal. In the next picture here, you're going to see 4 white lines intersecting at the bottom portion of the temple. Now, these 4 lines mark ley lines. Ley lines are carriers of consciousness. They are associated with holy areas, sacred areas, places of worship. When I was first learning to Taoist, that was the fun thing I was taught. You find them at places of worship. And indeed you do. They carry consciousness. Now, they interact with whatever they come in contact with. They can be uplifted, they can be diminished. It depends upon the space they go. Now, 4 intersecting ley lines in West Bengal. I haven't dowsed in India, but I would think that's pretty much a big deal and a significant sign that this is a holy area, and the builders of the temple were drawn to this area. Now, for me, I live in North Star Country, in the heart of Mother Earth's soul. I got dozens of ley lines passing through my house, my tiny little house. So that's not significant. But once you get away from North Star Country, America's Northeast and Southern Ontario, it does become a significant thing. Anyway, this is a positive development. It shows this is indeed holy to Mother Earth. Again, you're looking at the overview of the temple area. Now, notice on the left-hand side, a little below midway, you'll see a circle with S in it. That marks a geospiral. That is the equivalent of an energy vortex in the earth. Again, it's in the earth. It's what we call a spiral or a geospiral. It forms from positive, loving human intentions like an energy vortex, but doesn't have the same sort of spiritual strength, for lack of a better word. If you feed it and nourish it over time, it'll go to the bowels of the earth and begin to draw up water and become known as a blind spring. Now, a geospiral is a positive intention, positive development. It shows that good things happened here. Now, because of its lower energy, it may nourish your soul, but more importantly, it's going to be more for your health of your physical body. It can, if you look at the Tantric of that power of energy in Tantra, tell you that, well, that can lead to, raising your consciousness, or at least give you a mystical experience because of that higher energy. Because the imprint that forms the spiral is in the earth, and the spiral is in the earth, it is not as sensitive to what goes on above the surface. Whereas an energy vortex is incredibly sensitive. Consciousness always interacts with the consciousness it comes in contact with. And because of this, energy vortices diminish and dissolve over time if they are in crowded or public places, because they're coming in contact with all sorts of people. They might not be divine souls or people that are far along on their path, and they, because of that, diminish. But overall, this is a positive development. More importantly, if you look at the location of this spiral, it's off the beaten path. It's far away from the temple area. It's not in the woods. It's in a very kind of open area, which is, well, maybe it should diminish. But this tells me that it survived because of its location. It hasn't had the same interactions. I imagine there were many more geospirals at one point. You're looking at a larger overview of the Kali temple in West Bengal. Notice that there are, at the bottom, there is a circle with the letters RS, and on the top left-hand side, there's another circle with the letters RS in it. Both of these mark rings, or what I would call geospiral rings, and they are an aspect, a part of a geospiral's anatomy, just as your arm is a part of your anatomy, or your heart, or your hands, or your fingers. All are aspects or parts of your human anatomy. And a spiral ring is an aspect of a geospiral. Now, a geospiral ring is a circular movement of energy. Think of a hula hoop and as being just a form of energy going round and around. They're usually about 3 to 5 feet in diameter. A spiral ring is also a precursor to the formation of a geospiral. So what the a ring is telling you is that a geospiral is about to form. So when you see this formation, you know that. This is a sign that a geospiral is about to form. Now, conversely, when the geospiral is dissolving, the spiral will dissolve, but the ring will remain in place for some time, and then the ring will dissolve. So it's also a kind of a signal that there was a geospiral here. And that's what I'm using it for. I know because of the ring that there was a geospiral there at one time. Years ago, when I was in my heyday of meditating in fields and looking for energy vortices, I would look for what is called vortex rings, because if I found one, I know for sure that this was a holy area, and then I begin to look, are there aspects of Mother Earth, what can I learn, da-da-da-da-da. So that was my signal that this is a holy area. But this geospirals tells these rings, these spiral rings tell me, and along with the geospiral, there probably was a lot more going on here. In conclusion, I say there was definitely a lot more. There were probably many more geospirals, probably many energy vortices above the earth. And because of this, you know that it was a good, Sri Ramakrishna was of a good heart. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe. Namaste!